What we do with them, we put them in the blitzer with a little bit of tomato puree, the skins of the tomatoes and the insides of the tomatoes, a little bit of olive oil, and we blitz it. And then we pass it through a very fine chinois and make a fresh passata. And the difference the passata makes to the piperade is extraordinary. Without it, it's not the same. So that little bit of waste which normally ends in a bin, ends in the piperade. So we take the peppers, and all we do with them is just julienne them. As you can see, just run the knife through them. They don't have to be perfect, because nothing is perfect. When I slice them, they're slightly different. So accept imperfection. And through accepting imperfection, you'll create perfection. So there's our peppers. So we take the onion, take the core. As you can see, I'm chopping the onion rather finely. No need to look if you know where the blade is. Okay, take a little garlic. We could be professional, take the core out. But I'm a home cook now, not a professional cook. Okay.
So now I want to talk to you about, again, ferment, sourdough ferment, what to do with it, how do you use it, how do you refresh it, when do you refresh it, and what can you do with the leftover ferment. So the baby under this one here, or the beast as I call it, is my original ferment I did 27 years ago, back in London. And this is what I call the soul of my bread. This is when I used to have the bakery, that's what all our bread were based on this. This is what all our recipe, we had some of the ferment in there. There's a bit of me going into it, and it's a bit of everything goes into that bread. So it started in London, like I showed you all the step by step, and then we grow it up and we use a lot of it. So I keep a big amount of ferment going. The more I've got, the more flavor, the more character it's got. So I've made some bread yesterday with that and I use it. So I'll show you what it looks like now. So let's see what's under the cover. So as you can see there, I've used some, I took some out. There's a bit of crust for me on top. I am not panicking about it. That's normal. That crust is like a natural lid. If I put a lid and seal the container, you'll have water everywhere. So it's a dough, it's breathing. So that's why I use a cloth and a plastic bag loose on top, so the dough is just breathing. But inside, it's all that beautiful texture. I keep saying that scaffolding, my foundation is all there. And the smell is really eating your nose. It's slightly acidic, but the sweetness, everything you've done with it is coming back. I'm loving it. So I'm going to do a bit of a taste as well. You can see the stretching, look at this. How beautiful that is. Sticky everywhere. That's nice. It's amazing, when you know your ferment, I swear I taste it in my bread. I swear my bread, the crust, taste of the ferment. Everything is there. It's characteristic. You can recognize your own bread or your own ferment sometime. It's got the right balance in the mouth. Slightly acidic, bit of sweetness, but it's well balanced. I love that.
To make a good fish soup, you need different type of fish. Here we got a red mallet, a red gurnard, and we got a hake, a big hake. Gurnard, you got two types of gurnard. You got the grey one and the red one. Always try to buy the red one. It's much better than the grey one. They look exactly the same, like two brothers, but one is grey, one is red. So we start by cutting the fish. You cut the fish in small pieces. Not too small, but something like that is perfect, Now, if you got a big fish, what you can do is maybe you can fillet it if you want, or just cut it like that, the same. But big fish, is harder to cut. And once you cut the fish, you mix it with all those beautiful vegetables, and you got to marinate it overnight. So you start to prepare your fish soup the night before, the day before. Because by marinating the fish, you know, all the flavor of the vegetable and the saffron will develop and make it much better. It's quite important to have to go and see your fishmonger, ask him for the best fish he got at the moment to make a fish soup. And I wouldn't recommend you to go to supermarket and say, oh, I want to make a beef fish soup. They will think you are quite loony, you know. They don't know what you are talking about. So the fishmonger will be the best to advise you which type of fish to use.
One of my favourite meals is tagliatelle with ragu of bolognese, spaghetti bolognese, when it's cooked well. If I go through the filing cabinets of my mind, one of my earliest memories of food was there as a boy, sitting on the bench, watching my mother hand mince the mince, grating the vegetables, and then cooking it. But that was many years ago. So, let's get started. Let's grate the onion. And the reason why we grate vegetables is so by the time the ragu is cooked, it's all dissolved away. So all of that flavour is in the bolognese. Grate your carrots. Once again, so they dissolve. But why do we fry a carrot? This time it's not to remove the acidity. It's to remove the water content to bring out the natural sugars. And by bringing out the sugars, you bring out the true flavour of a carrot. And now the celery. And the same with the garlic. It's about making food, taste of food. It's as simple as that. Question, question, question. Taste, taste, taste. Think, think, think. That's what cooking's all about. It's about where you can take it. Because I'm a classicist. I'm not a fantasist. I believe in those great classic marriages. Basil and tomato, Madeira and mushroom, red wine and shallots. Keep it simple. We live in a world of refinement, not invention. It's as simple as that. And never forget, if you want to stray and do bizarre and peculiar combinations, then good luck. Because at the end of the day, it's about eating. It's not about impressing your customers, it's about feeding them, and feeding them well.
So I want to show you another way of using your ferment, your sourdough ferment. We don't want to waste anything. One of my favorite ways of using the ferment is to make sourdough crackers. Now, crackers are very fashionable. You can see the big one with the hole in the middle. That's what I'm going to show you. And the good thing with the crackers, they last for months. When they're dry like that, with a seed in there, you can use them for cheese and so on, but they last in a tin for months. First thing we'll do, we've got our ferment, and I'll use a bit of rye flour. You can use white flour or spelt, but I quite like the rye with this. And then I take a bit of ferment, and this here I make quite a lot of crackers. What I want to do with this is fold it over itself a few times. Try to make a little sausage like that. That's all there is to it. Make it tight. So go back the other way. That's it. So far, it's very simple. Roll it in a bit of flour. And then I'm going to cut some pieces about 1 centimeter. Just that. I'm going to roll them round. So if you look in here, that's your sticky side on both sides. So what we need to do to get a round shape is leave them like that. Press a bit on flour, a bit more on flour, like so. And then to roll them, make some space around you. And then in here, I got some fennel seed, I got some linseed, and a bit of salt. So you can just choose whatever you want. You have them plain, or with a bit of salt, or seeds. Caraway works well too. And then I'm going to use a rolling pin and just very gently roll them. Make sure it doesn't stick. So every turn of the rolling pin, I'll move them. If you press too hard, it will stick. So just gently use your body to roll You want them very thin, so they bake very fast. So if you want seeds, now is a good time. So I always got my little brush next to me. Put a bit of salt, not too much. And let's say a few fennel seeds. And then you work them in. So you can see they go inside of your cracker there. A bit more there. So that's just the right size now. So you can leave them like that. That's absolutely fine. If you want them like the traditional cracker, is get a cutter. You can cut around it. And you can make the traditional little hole in the middle. Like so. But all this can be rolled again, so it's not a problem. And then I get my little oven pill. Place them on the pill like that. And then we put them in the oven. I bake them about 180, 190 degrees. You don't want them to burn, you want them to dry, have a bit of color on top, and then they'll crack after.
I'm sweating vegetable to develop the taste. The action to sweat a vegetable, sweat or pan fry a fish is just to develop the taste, you know. But the heat will bring out the taste of all those nice vegetables out, you know, you appreciate it. When you eat a raw fennel or you eat a cooked fennel, still maybe there is a fennelly taste in it, but it's not the same result. And it's the same for all vegetables. Yeah, the color is quite beautiful, you know. It's like Provence, in fact, you know. Red, green, white, sunshine of the saffron. You know, I think sometimes people said, oh, what will be your last meal in life, you know, before you pass away? Mine will be to eat a bouillabaisse made with fish soup, of course, you know. Start with the fish soup, bouillabaisse next, and one of my grandmother's pudding was a crostade aux pommes to finish. And after I will die happily, you know.